I am Glenn Cole, the founder of 72andSunny. Welcome to the Sunnyside. We are here live at Stagwell's Sport Beach Clubhouse during Super Bowl week, where we are celebrating the intersection of sport, culture, and fandom. I'm joined here by my friend and longtime creative colleague and partner, Tim Ellis, the CMO of the NFL. Tim, welcome to the Sunnyside.
You're pretty good at that. I am very impressed.
We know each other really well. The fact that I can show a new side of myself.
Like,
it was after.
When did he learn how to do that?
How many years? 14 years have we been doing this together?
About 14, yeah. About 14.
So
just 2 jobs too. That's pretty good.
7 at refresh my memory.
7 at Activision, and now 6.5, 6.75 at the NFL.
That's impressive. How many Super Bowl spots have we done with the NFL?
We didn't do any at Activision because they wouldn't let us. But not that we didn't want to.
We did one.
But we've done at least 2 every year.
Yeah.
So we've got, now this is 7th Super Bowl for us. So now we're in like at least 14.
Right. Amazing. This is great. And we're having a lot of fun with both spots this year, although we got, I think, high on the tearjerker scale, the first cause spot.
I think we always do good work, I think, in the cause area as well. But this year's spot, this thing could end up being one of the favorite spots of the whole game. I mean, it's incredibly emotional. And everybody who's seen it is just like moved to tears. So, including me. I've seen it like 25 times. I'm still crying every time I see it.
You visibly cried on the Zoom when we presented it. I'm not making that up. He cried on the Zoom right at the very end.
Yeah.
There are lots of it's a little dusty in here jokes.
Yeah.
And I think I texted you right then, like as I was seeing the emotion, which I felt a few days earlier. I thought, I said, "Hey Tim, just us here, but I think this is one of the best things we've ever done in our partnership. Not even a cause ad, no qualifier."
Yeah.
And your response was something pretty short, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely one of the best things we've ever done. We did one other ad, if you recall, that was for My Cause, My Cleats, which is a great program because My Cause, My Cleats is all about what do the players really care about. And so the cause that they care about, that's most intimate and personal to them, we get behind it and we celebrate it, we promote it, and they put it on their cleats and they get to wear it on their cleats. So you guys did a wonderful ad there that was all
together.
Well, together, yeah. You guys, we did.
If I say we did, you tell me it's us, which is true.
That's true. We guys. It was a I don't know. I think it was one of our best ads ever, and I think listen, cause ads maybe are not usually the most creative ads out there in the industry, but I think we have found a way to really say something that was genuine and that people actually can relate to, right? And I think that
kind of need to hear right now.
Yeah, and listen, a lot of these areas are things which are complex, and some people get uncomfortable talking about them, whether it be social justice or things like that. And so you've always found, I think, that the way to really get somebody to listen and think differently is to get them in the heart, right? Like to really touch them emotionally, as opposed to like trying to tell them what they should be doing or tell them what they should know, or almost like finger wagging, you know what I mean? Like that stuff just never works because people get, they freeze up and they don't open their hearts or open their minds.
I was going to go to a different question, but I'm going to stay on this for a minute because one of the things I know you're proud of, we're both proud of, is our commitment to finding the humanity in the brands we've worked on and in the organizations and the people involved. Can you talk about or tell folks who are listening about the at a top level, like the helmets off strategy and how that's impacted perceived humanity of the league and also the humanity in our work?
Yeah, I love that. Well, it's interesting. We talk about when I came to the NFL initially. So we were together working at Activision, and I'd been there 7 years, and I decided, okay, it's time for me at least look and see what else might be out there. And so this guy I was working with, this executive recruiter, said, well, I don't know, there is this NFL thing. And I'm like, wait, what? NFL thing? What do you mean? Like, CMO, the NFL. And this guy, yeah. And I'm like, well, show me the job description. So as soon as I saw that job description, I'm like, oh my God, like, how could you not tell me this? I was so excited about it. And I knew it was a pivotal moment in the NFL's sort of history, if you will. In many ways, their reputation, tune in for their games were like an all-time low, right? There's a lot of complex issues that they were facing. Everything from CTE to all the players who were, talking about important social activities and civil rights and so forth, social justice and so forth, racism, like all these really important, sensitive issues. And I just felt like, wait, I want to work with these guys. I want to try to help them, be who they are, basically, but do it in a way to where they sort of like bringing people in to earn trust and start bringing people closer to them, as opposed to what was happening. The country was sort of dividing, right? And so when I saw that opportunity, I thought deeply about it. And my first interview I had with the NFL, I knew exactly the strategy that I wanted to employ. And I didn't hold anything back. I mean, I just told them this, and key to that was the helmets off strategy, which sounds simple, but essentially, like every time you see an NFL player, you don't even know who they are because physically they have the helmet on their head, right? And they're not allowed to take it off even in the end zone. So I'm like, well, we got to know the players, but we got to know just not what they look like, but who they are as people, right? Like, what are the things that really they burn for? What are the things that make them individuals and that they truly care about on an intimate personal level? And then let's get behind those things, right? So we just call it the helmets off strategy. And together we begin to create these, I think, very authentic, warm, inspirational pieces of communication, whether they be entertaining and funny or whether they be more, serious in nature. They were things that people could relate to on a very human level. And so I found that emotion, that humanity has been the thing that's really kind of helped us change the image of the NFL, and really like broaden our fan base.
It's such the NFL is such a complex organization. It's giant. Now it's international, so important. You talk about that strategy. It seems, as you said, so simple, but giving the league a face. Well, first of all, I didn't need a face. I had plenty of faces. 700 some players who really are the face league, and giving it a voice and not trying to impose a voice, but find out what these athletes care about and use their voice to get excited about it is such a. I'm so proud of partnering with you on that strategy as a company, because it's really a journalistic job. It's like go learn, find out, be curious about people, and then find a way to supersize it. What they care about.
Yeah.
So hats off, dude. That's been a fun ride. I appreciate the strategic rudder on this thing.
By the way, I think you mentioned journalism. I was a journalism student, and I have found that.
Wait, what school?
San Diego State.
Okay.
I have found that some of the best go Aztecs. I have found some of the best marketers are journalism students, because it trains you to sort of look at a lot of information and to zero in on the things that really matter, and then find a way to sort of communicate that in a relatable way, right? And I think that's a lot of what we end up doing in advertising and marketing. Like, there's a lot of things to talk about, but what's the right way? What's the most interesting thing to talk about that will allow you to connect with someone? And then how do you distill it down into just the right, just the right, simple, key message. And,
authentically, and maintain authenticity.
So I think, like I said, I do think that my journalism experiences helped me a lot in that regard.
Yeah. As I
bet you didn't know that about me, did you?
I
bet you didn't know that about me.
After this long,
After 14 years.
I'm sure over some of these dinners with wine and stuff, I've heard that one and didn't quite pick that fact up.
Yeah.
But now we both journalist grads. I'm going to bring us back to this Super Bowl and the other effort underway, the second, at least in terms of the marketing, the second Super Bowl ad, which we call our Joy of Football piece, the annual blockbuster, 2 minutes, coming after the halftime show. How does that? We'll give these folks like a little preview into the topic, how we got there, and who are we taking helmets off of in this one.
Well, it's interesting. Everybody thinks, not everybody, but a lot of people think like, okay, it's the NFL. Why do you need to advertise? People are watching your game.
Yeah.
What's the big deal? But for us, I mean, we get so many people, up to 200 million people watch the Super Bowl. So you have a lot of casual fans and even non-fans who are watching for the entertainment and the sort of, people coming together for a party or whatever. So it's a real cultural event, right? And so it is our chance to speak to a big audience who doesn't always tune into our games. So for us, it's a big opportunity to actually bring people in and, create fandom. So we particularly are focused on women, Latinos, and young people. Those are our 3 big acquisition targets. And then we always pick something which is a strategic initiative of the league when we focus on a big Super Bowl ad. And so one of the big initiatives we have now with the NFL is flag football. And flag football, particularly for girls and women, is a great way to bring people in and get them to be lifelong fans. All of our data shows that if you can get somebody to actually play the game, they're 4 times as likely to be a lifetime fan. And it obviously doesn't have to be tackle, so it could even be Madden, right? So like playing the game on a video game. So getting young men, young women to play the game is critical to the sort of the future of the NFL. So I kind of see it as like a future proof of our business. And so, the other thing which is critical is it's just inclusive. Flag football, anybody can play. You don't have to be as big as a lot of people think you need to be, at least, to play tackle, right? Or short. So it's the most inclusive format of our game. And so getting young women to play the game is really fun, and it's got a tremendous amount of momentum right now. Like 15 states have now
Let's go.
sanctioned girls flagging as a varsity sport in high school, right? And just 2 in the last week, and that's 100% increase in the last year. So like, we got a ton of momentum out there, and people know it. Like if you talk to anybody, they're like, oh yeah, flag football is becoming a big thing in my neighborhood or my community or my school. And so we wanted to together, us and you guys at 72 and Sunny, we wanted to put a finger on that. Like let's talk about that momentum and let's have some fun with it. So sort of exaggerate. You guys said it in the 80s with a concept, which I loved. And because I kind of got
What was your high school?
I grew up in the 80s.
Let's hear your high school.
Lincoln High. Well, I used to wear my varsity jacket. And so by setting it in the 80s and setting up the jocks who say girls don't play football, and then the girls saying, oh yes we do, set up that kind of conflict in the sort of the arc for a really interesting commercial. And at the end, of course, it comes into comes full circle, and it comes to modern day.
One of a little insight into our conversations around that before we executed it is we both almost in sync said, well, one of our jobs is to show people how badass these girls are. Like the sport is bad people because it kind of has a recreational reputation, or at least it did. So we've been using this platform with the Super Bowl spot 2 years ago, a bunch of the efforts in the background with working with IFAF to create content that shows just how badass they are. And I remember when we went out to produce this one and we were looking for a directing partner, eventually Peter Berg. Yeah. The first thing you said was like, Glenn, it's a comedy spot. Yeah. But the first thing you said is, I just want these women to look totally fucking badass. Yeah. Now we can go look for somebody to help us do that. That's the number one thing. Everything else, we'll figure out the comedy.
That's right. And I mean, because the idea was funny in itself. Yeah. So, we just needed somebody who understood the humor, but could express it in a way to where the game itself just felt super high octane athletic and, as you put it, badass, right? And I think that's exactly what we did. And there's nobody like Peter Berg. I mean, he did Friday Night Lights. He's done Lone Survivor. He's done lots of sports and lots of great action films, and he knows how to bring those stuff to life. And because we all love football, like you and I love football, Pete loves football, we were able to pull it together and do something really special, which I think is really going to be an inspirational piece of communication for not just all the girls and women out there, but also all the families, right? All the dads who want their daughters also to play. And then we always have the players in the ads, which I love. Most of the time they play themselves. This time around, they're actually kind of in disguise. And so we, put fat suits on them and made them bald and mustaches and all that stuff. And I think fans are going to have a lot of fun, kind of figuring out who they are.
A few 80s school students, and at least, everybody knows the principal because he was a subject.
Yeah, Pat
McAfee. And those are the stars on the male side. There are more female stars in this one, from Team USA QB1, Vanita Crouch, to some of the top players from Germany, Australia,
all over the world,
Mexico, all over the world. So for those who know, that's a real nice. Those are incredible Easter eggs.
Well, there again, we wanted to have the best athletes out there and to sort of shine a light on them and allow them to do their thing. I mean, you just can't get a stunt person to do that kind of stuff, right? Like, they have to really understand the game and know how to perform, and getting them to perform like that on camera is just electric.
Yeah, and they delivered.
Right?
They
totally delivered.
Yeah,
it was so fun to watch them do their thing. So, I mean, even Marshawn Lynch, who's in it, he was out there and he saw the star Kilolo, and he's like, "Wow, she's like me." Like he was so pumped to see the things that she was doing. So anyway, it was just, I think, listen, I think it's great for the sport. It's great for the brand of, the NFL. And I think, quite honestly, I think it's great for this country, right? Like getting more kids out there playing and getting them to come together to be on teams and so forth is really important. We know that there's a drop in physical activity of young people. We know that organized sports, has seen a drop, and obviously the pandemic had a lot to do with that. So it's like, it's important for us to sort of get behind anything we can do to get kids active and to sort of play organized sports. And I'm just really proud of that initiative.
I am also, and I know we got to wrap up, I am also very proud of the fact that we get to work with somebody like you. When we bring an idea that, and the opening premise is, hey, did you know at the time 13 states out of 50 have flag as a varsity sport? We could use this moment, probably the most important moment for the league, the most important media moment. What if we use that platform and all those resources to push it over the top and get all 50 on board? I mean, there's plenty of things we could promote for the NFL, but to use this moment and the whole engine behind it to help get this done is really inspiring. I mean, I'm happy with the work. I love the ad, I always do. But to me, that's the real beauty, and a tribute to you and how you're running your team. Because you are seeing the potential of what we can really do with these ads. We all want to win an ad. We'd love to win an award. Yeah. But I think we're going to be most proud if suddenly the counter goes from 15 to 50 in 12 months or faster.
Well, and ultimately we're creating real change. I mean, we're changing people's lives. And again, it wasn't just because I liked the game of football that I wanted to come and work for the NFL. I mean, the platform is incredible. The influence is incredible. And if you think about the platform that we have on the NFL side, and then the 32 teams and the audiences that they have, and then on top of that, you think about the influence of all those players, thousands of players out there as well. I mean, it's incredible what you can do. So anytime we truly get behind something, from the league to the clubs to the players, I mean, we can truly change things. And not every marketer can say that, right? Like you work very hard to contribute to the business, to sell your products or your service. And obviously marketing is a critical part of your overall business. But with NFL marketing, you're literally changing society and culture, and you're hopefully making the world a better place. And that that to me is a very, very special part about this role. And I remember when I told you that I had accepted this job, I mean, you were pumped. You were you were like so excited about that. And I'm glad it all worked out. I mean, it's really been a terrific partnership. And I think, we ain't done yet. We got a lot of work to do, but the work that we've done so far has been, I think, really something to be proud of.
I think I speak on behalf of 72 and Sunny, and certainly for myself. I feel so lucky to be in a partnership with somebody as inspiring and creative and thoughtful as you. So thank you. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for joining me at Stagwell's Sport Beach Clubhouse here in New Orleans for this cool conversation with Tim. That's it for now. Catch this on Stagwell's channels and 72 and Sunny's channels and wherever else you can find it.